Hey, you're going to teach me how to be successful with growing an Instagram following or growing a supplement company or a franchise? Show me 4 referrals. If they can't show you 4 referrals that I can get on the phone and talk to, fuck you.
Right.
I'm not going to give you my money.
Right. Change your perspective to where it removes the fear of expansion. Because most people can't scale because they're afraid to scale.
Yeah. You get off stage and they go, so I'm thinking of starting something.
Yeah.
What do I do next?
Dude,
like, were you fucking listening?
Or they're literally looking for something more than what you gave them.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Well, they want the magic bullet.
That's right. And there is no, and we know this. You and I know this, and every person who's built something knows this. That's why we do this, right? Like, that's why you have your show. That's why you do social media. That's why you're putting out do these interviews. You're the kind of person who's built great success for yourself, you know?
Going back to what we said about the magic bullet. There's no magic bullet.
No.
I bled and bled and bled, and then finally there was a big outcome, and then bled some more, and then another outcome. And I think people don't want to bleed anymore.
If you want to know what success is, drive down your fucking street and look at every business. All those people are doing well. Success is not a scarce thing. It's just a different thing than what you're used to.
But people will always find a reason to bitch because they need an excuse to stay mediocre.
But dude, we're living in such a fucking cool time.
They don't know. The truth, I believe, is that they don't know how good they have it. Imagine if Warren Buffett had a platform that us, when we were younger, right? Warren Buffett's like, here's what I'm doing next. And then I did this, and then I did that. We didn't have that.
No, dude.
We are and I don't want to sound pompous, we are the Warren Buffett of our time right now. Yeah. And the soon-to-be or want-to-be entrepreneurs have access to this information, but they think we're still holding out. Andy's holding out. He taught me how to do everything, but he's holding out on the magic bullet to have all those Lamborghinis and whatever. Yeah. No, he's not, dude. He's fucking sharing it.
Some of the guys here in the company were like, bro, you're giving away the recipe. Like, why would you do that? And I said, you know why? Because I know that our competitors will not fucking execute on it because it's too hard. Yep. It's simple. A, B, C, D, but it's too fucking hard. Yep. And like, I believe that it takes a certain amount of grit, persistence, and perseverance and willingness to suffer to go through that process. And I don't see that in any of my competitors.
And so people always ask me like, hey, so how did you become an entrepreneur? I changed my whole money mindset. All that came later. But I learned so many lessons being broke and poor. And one time someone asked me, what's the difference between broke and poor? I said, poor is a state of mind. It's a way of living. Like, the man wants me to suffer. Money is for the rich and not for me. Broke is Donald Trump can go broke again. You can go broke again. Right. I can go broke again.
And the chances are we probably will.
Right.
Which is why I don't fucking take shit for granted.
Right. It's just you have what it takes to get back on top.
Right.
But poor is a mindset, and you stay in that state of mind. But
that's awesome.
I realized,
wow.
No, but I later realized that, you know what? When you don't have food, you don't have the resources to buy food, you get resourceful, you dive into the dumpster. You don't have the resources to buy lice treatment for your kid, you get resourceful and you wash your kid's hair with gasoline. And how many times, Andy, did you have to get resourceful to get this business up and running? That was the foundation.
Yeah.
At that age, were you cognizant of the fact that your mom was being resourceful, or did you not realize that until much later on in your life?
I didn't realize. I just trusted my mom and dad so much.
That's awesome.
If my mom said, go get on the grass in front of the apartment, double over and close your eyes, don't stand up no matter what. I'm going to wash your hair with this. And I knew it was gasoline. But I just assumed maybe you get your hair washed with gasoline and you do. And
just
you
the way it is, right?
Yeah, like I didn't know any better. At that point, I'm 8 years old. We're 2 years into this country.
Wow.
And so, okay, Mom, I just want my head to stop itching, right? Because there's like lice.
Right.
And we couldn't afford the treatment. So that's what it took. That's what I was okay with happening. And so if I like you, I'm making friends with you. So my rapport building skills were established when I went to elementary school. Moving around.
I had to be quick.
And just like I use that skill today to build relationships with the people I like, I value, who I want to do business with, and engage with, connect with. But so it's funny. It's like that was gladiator training back then to be who I am today. But I fucking bled to develop a coaching and consulting business in the fitness industry when everyone was telling me trainers are broke. How are they ever going to pay you to coach them? I made it happen. But the nerves kick in. I know how to control them more.
Yeah.
And so, look, I'm not going to sit here and say, dude, I'm this totally polished guy. Put me in front of a mic and I can rock it. Doesn't even intimidate me. This whole fucking scene intimidates me.
Right.
Getting on stage every time for 11 years intimidates me.
Every time.
Yeah.
But see, that's the difference, though, right?
I just do it.
People assume that you or I or Gary or any of these other dudes, Grant, and some of them won't admit it. Some of them are like, fuck it, But the truth is that we all have that. We just fucking learn how to control it and go on anyway.
Yeah.
We do it anyway. We fucking do what we got to do, regardless of how we feel about it. And you know what? Every time It works out, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I believe that's part of my superpower. It
Yeah.
just forces me to be more authentic, more genuine, more transparent. We are tethered to social media with these iPhones, right?
Right.
But we give away the free content because we feel a greater sense of obligation and duty. I do. I know you do. It seems like Gary does and Grant does and everyone else out there who's giving it. We all make plenty of money where we don't have to do that.
Right.
But I really do feel like, man, if someone had given me that, like, and ultimately they did, Jim Franco, my personal training client, he mentored me. He didn't charge me for it, right? Like, holy hell, I owe it to pay it forward. That's the one thing my dad taught was like, we come to this country, add value, pay forward, and then you'll have all the money you want.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that. Like when I say that to people, sometimes they they look at me like I'm talking about some weird concept that like is like, you know, real fluffy and feel goody, which really isn't my style. But I do believe that if you do good and you pay shit forward and you put out value, the money's going to be there. I've never experienced anything to contradict that.
And so, well, if karmic justice is true, then so is the opposite, where if I just do good, add value, like my dad had told me when I was a kid.
Did you come to that conclusion because of the negative and you're like, well,
Yes.
if this is true and I see it happening, then the other must be true?
Absolutely.
Dude, the reason why we are where we are is because of that. I firmly believe that.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt. I mean,
And sometimes like the right thing seems like it's expensive at first, but it's always cheaper than the repercussions.
yep.
You know, of doing the wrong thing. You have to be on the offense because if you're in business and you're doing something and you're not on the offense, the conversation is going to naturally lead towards your business because they assume that's what you're interested in.
Right.
And so they're trying to talk to you about that, and then all their fucking bullshit opinions that are unqualified come out, and then that's when the friction starts, right? So like you have to be on the offense. Like, dude, talk about them before they could talk about you, and it's a pleasurable situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got this weird gift of looking into someone's business and then seeing the method to time collapsing. In other words, how do we get 3 years of results in 3 months? And so that's some weird gift that I have that I've used in my business. So I decided to create masterminds where I can pull in people and say, hey, you want to start a mastermind? Here's how you're going to start it, pitch it, and grow it. So I created a mastermind where we meet 3 times a year, every 90 days. And it's real simple. Where are you since the last mastermind in your business growth, personal development? Where do you want to go between now and the next mastermind in the next 90 days? And then what's the bottleneck or the answer or the networking connection you need to help you get there?
I think to organize a great mastermind, you have to be fucking great with people.
Right.
And, you know, because, dude, you're charging people for basically coming in and learning from each other.
Right.
And, like, to somebody who doesn't understand the value in that, they're like, well, I could just call this motherfucker. I'm not going to pay to be in it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But the reality is, dude, you have no idea what you're going to learn at any given time from all these people, the connections you're going to make that you wouldn't. And dude, it's like a circle of like absolute trust
Yeah.
that people don't, they don't understand unless they've been through it.
So you agree with that the masterminds are kind of here to stay?
Oh, I know they're here to stay because I've been running them for the last 13 years, right? And they literally funded the growth of Fit Body Bootcamp.
Right.
I never borrowed money. I never raised capital, never brought on business partnerships or anything like that. I literally funded the growth of Fit Body Bootcamp, a global franchise, with my coaching and consulting business. So I always say, what's the lowest hanging fruit and what are the big levers you can move to swing the biggest doors, right? The small hinges swing big doors. And so most people want to dive into the roots of everything. Well, I want to rebrand things. Like, is that really going to take you from $1 million to 10 million?
Right.
When was the last time you shared your vision with your team? Is your team even a team, or are they a group of employees where they clock in a little late, clock out a little early, do the bare minimum?
Right.
Because if they're a team, then they're fighting for a unified outcome.
Right.
Like, I want team members. So first of all, do you have a team or employees? Let's make sure you have a team. 2, have you shared your vision? Do you even know what your vision is? And a proper vision is, I want this outcome by this date.
Right.
That's a vision.
Right.
And then finally, is there continuity? Like, one of the lowest hanging fruits to building a successful business is continuity. Is it a one-time sale, or can you turn that one-time sale into recurring revenue?
Right.
Everything I own, my coaching programs are monthly.
Right.
You pay me monthly. My software company, you pay me monthly. Fit Body Bootcamp, you pay me monthly franchise fees. Everything I own is you're paying me monthly. So I'm going to sell you once, and you're going to pay me over and over again until you quit or I fire you as a client or a franchisee or whatever.
Right.
And that's how I was able to scale my empire. So it's vision, team, and continuity. Those are the 3 lowest hanging fruits to take $1 million into a 5 and 10 million. And then from 10 million, we dive deep into their personal life.
Quit looking at your employees as an expense.
Right.
Quit looking at an employee as an expense. Look at it as an investment that's going to turn a return. Okay. Looking at things like employees as an investment, not an expense. Change your perspective to where it removes the fear of expansion, because most people can't scale because they're afraid to scale.
Yeah.
It takes a fucking team. And dude, one of the biggest things that I've noticed about CEOs that have amazing culture like you have and like we have is that they are great fucking storytellers. I can stand in front of my team and I can paint the picture of exactly where we're going to be and how it's going to look, and I could draw it on a board and I could show them where they're going to fit in if they do the work, and it creates a sense of community and mission. If you have a team and you're trying to win against something.
Right.
So what's the mission? It can either be a mission or it can be an opponent. And you can look at it two different ways, but either way, you're going to rally people around a cause. Doing it around a cause is more effective because once you beat the opponent, I've learned this the hard way. Once you beat the opponent, then what the fuck do you rally them around?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it has to be mission based. I look at culture and community and our team as a valuable, what's it worth to me money wise? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's the most valuable thing in any company if you have it right. And it's the most value sucking thing if you just have employees.
Exactly. Everybody looks at culture as an expense because they go, why do I have to have these get-togethers, barbecues at my house?
Right. They're like, we have dinner here. And they're like,
Right.
like people will be like, well, why are we spending $3,000 every time we have a meeting on catering?
Yeah. What's it costing us? Well, what are we gaining in loyalty? How about what we're gaining in loyalty instead of what it's costing us, right?
Dude, no, I'm asking you, like, what the fuck do you stand for? How do you communicate? What is the mission you're on? How are you going to get there? Who's your fucking opponent? Okay, we're coaches. Every time I walk out and see one of my guys or talk to them or have a conversation with them, my objective is to drive home culture. It's to establish what we stand for, what they're currently doing at the time, and get them to understand how that ties in. And if you do that enough and for long enough, you will create cultural replicas of what you want your company to stand for in your people, and those people will further the creation of that. So it spreads like a virus. You know what I mean?
Love that. Cultural replicas of what you stand for.
Right. Instead of doing it because you have culture, they're doing it because they're entitled to do it.
Right.
Because they're CEO. And like, dude, that's why you see so many fucking shitbag companies fail. You know, just poor leadership, man.
You nailed it. Being the CEO does not make you the leader.
No, fuck no.
Being the CEO just means that you are the title on the corporation paperwork.
Yeah.
That's it.
And there's a big difference, as you know.
Yeah.
I see it like this. Dude, I'm so fucking fortunate to have these guys. If I didn't have them, I would be shit. And that's the truth.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that to say it on the podcast. It's the fucking truth. If I didn't have the guys that I have, you guys wouldn't know who the MFCEO fucking is. Yep. And that's the truth. You don't have to have all the answers. The biggest thing about CEO, I think that people miss, or business owners, is that you don't have to be right all the time. Let somebody else's idea be the right one.
Exactly.
Your job is just to pick the right idea. So you have to be humble, right? Because a lot of guys are like, well, I'm the fucking boss, so my idea is the best. Very rarely is my idea the best here.
The fact that you've made them feel safe enough, your team members,
Yeah.
to sit around a boardroom table and come up with an idea, and knowing that if the idea isn't so great, you're not going to say, dude, that was stupid. What a retard. How dare you come up with that, right?
No.
So you've created a culture where they have a voice, they can come up with an idea,
Look, dude,
and if it's better than yours,
Bedros,
you'll accept it.
It has to be that way because I'm not that fucking smart.
That's it.
So I need other people around me. But CEO is not a dictator, it's a decision maker.
Right.
Like you're looking at all the options and your job is to say, okay, I've got these 5 options. I'll pick number 4. And sometimes when you pick number 4, it's wrong. But dude, your job is to pick something. Okay? It's not to have the only option. And like, you know, my guys, I've never fired somebody for making a mistake if they had good intentions. I've never even yelled at somebody for that. But I will fucking absolutely destroy you verbally if I think you're fucking lazy or if you're cutting a corner or if you're not showing discipline.
Every entrepreneur is at war right now. You just said it yourself. You said, I'm not going to name the competition, but I have competition.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell you who the opponent is. But
but when we have our meetings
Yeah.
here, trust me, if I'm not saying, dude, we're going to fucking destroy them.
Yeah, that's the whole idea.
And we
So
don't destroy
are
them
always
by
at war.
attacking them. We destroy them by us
Yes,
being better.
building your business. And so right now, anyone who's an employee who's looking to be an entrepreneur, the best thing you can do for the entrepreneur that you work for right now make them successful, help them beat their competition, help them crush the opponent.
Because those guys, guys those are the guys now that are making 6 figures here, fucking killing it, having 7-figure opportunities as the company grows. Dude, if you can make, because there's this negativity that comes like, dude, why am I working for this motherfucker? Well, let me tell you something. The reason that it's a good idea to help your boss is twofold. One, he can pay you a lot more money if you provide a lot more value. If the company grows, you'll probably make more money, okay? And they'll be like, no, my boss is an asshole, blah, blah, blah. All right, that's true. Let's say that is true. You fucking pour your heart and soul in a business and the business grows and you don't make any more money, guess what you just learned? You learn new skills to how to grow a business. And guess what you could do with those skills? You could take them elsewhere and fucking make money.
Yep.
So like, dude, people think they have to be in this perfect situation. And if you do that and make a habit in your character of, I'm always doing the best I can, no matter what the situation, and put faith in the payout, because you're going to learn a skill, right? Let's say you're working at McDonald's and you start to make the best fucking fries. And every time you make fries, the other dudes that make fries, they suck compared to yours. You might not get $100,000 a year to make fries, but what you did get is a habit that you can apply to other areas of your life that will make you $100,000 or more a year.
Because how you do anything is how you do everything.